And we're live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Retro Fandango episode number 188. I am Kevin, aka Buried on Mars. I'm here with my pal Richard, aka Rambox Comedy.
Hello.
And I don't know what we're going to talk about today because
I just looked at your outline.
I got nothing, man. Nothing.
I got nothing.
Zero.
What do you do for 2 whole weeks?
Well, I've been working on Sarah's car, and then I started working on my car. And it's one of those things where you start working on them, and then it just snowballs. It just keeps growing to more and more things.
You just keep finding more problems?
Well, not only that, more problems keep happening. Like I'm opening and closing the hood on my car so much that the hood latch breaks. So now my car's undrivable. I can't drive it because the hood latch is broken. I don't want stuff getting up into there. So
how do you break a hood latch?
Well, it's just old. As Scotty Kilmer would say, it's ages over time. Wear and tear. So there's a little spring in there that just broke. It snapped, and it's a spring that brings the latch back. So I couldn't close the hood. So I had to get a new one of those, and I had to order that, and then it came in, and
I've seen that in the movies. When that happens, you just keep going, and it flies off.
Yeah. Well, in the movies, they got money to spend, on frivolous things and whatever. I don't. I need to keep my hood.
Just snap it off and put a blue tarp or something, duct tape it on top.
Yeah, that would look awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my car's bad enough as it is. It's got rust spots and big dents in the back. And no AC, so I'm the only one driving around with his windows rolled down.
Ooh, that's rough.
Yeah. And it's been hot this August, like unbearably hot.
Today was getting my first taste of hot because the rain finally stopped over here. It rained for like 2.5 to 3 weeks.
We haven't had rain in forever. It has just been nothing but hot and humid weather. It's bad. It's very bad.
Yes.
All right, let's get that.
I like that you added the comment there for everybody to read.
Well, there was someone waiting. There you go. And now I'll do there. It did say someone was waiting. So I said, hey, we're just waiting for Richard. That's all.
That's kind of rare to get Duke in here. How's it going, Duke?
Yeah. Nothing much, Duke. Speaking of nothing much, we got a whole show packed full of nothing much. But let me get the house cleaning. You add some stuff, and I'll do the house cleaning because there's many games here to talk about. The Cartridge Club, you got a few more days left. We're recording this on August 27th, so you got a few more days to play Mirror's Edge. And then next month, for the month of September, they are playing Horizon Zero Dawn, which is one of my favorite games. Probably, I think Horizon Zero Dawn and Ratchet and Clank. I think those are the only 2 games I played fully on the PlayStation 4. Oh, and Spider-Man. I did play Spider-Man, but I didn't have to buy that one. I borrowed it from a friend.
When you say you play it fully, does that mean like all the achievements, trophies, whatever it is? And
well, finished it. Like got to the end of the game, and I did get a platinum in Horizon Zero Dawn, and I did get a platinum in Spider-Man. I can't remember if I got platinum in Ratchet and Clank. I don't remember. RF Gen is playing Phantom Dust for a few more days, and then next month they got a whole Sega Genesis lineup they're playing all the Shinobi games that came out for the Genesis. So you got Shadow Dancer, Revenge of Shinobi, and Shinobi 3: Return of the Master Ninja. So how come they're like, what is Shadow Dancer? Is that like, is that a sequel to Shinobi? Is that Shinobi?
I never quite understood all the Shinobi games because there's an arcade Shinobi, and then I thought Revenge of Shinobi was the first one. Shadow Dancer is the one with the dog, right?
I don't know. There was just Shinobi on the original on the Master System, right? It was just plain old Shinobi. And then what came next. I don't know. Apparently there's 3 more games, but the 4th one is called Shinobi 3.
I don't know. I've never really understood it because a lot of times when people do their like top 10 Genesis games or whatever, a lot of times that Revenge of Shinobi shows up there. I've never really understood why people like that game.
I've never played it.
Throw ninja stars and jump awkwardly.
Like,
hey, you ever play what's that the game where you shoot and jump? You know that one?
Mega Man?
Rolling Thunder. Rolling Thunder.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know, like you jump one up to the top level,
Yep.
go down, and shoot and duck. And it's basically that, but with a ninja.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I have played Shinobi, like the original Shinobi on the Master System, but I've never played any of the Genesis ones.
I know the Revenge of Shinobi had there were a couple different releases because they were using licensed characters.
Right. I remember that.
Like Spider-Man and Batman and Godzilla and stuff. And then depending on which version of the game you get, you might have some of them or all of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there you go. And beat the Bandy yet? We don't know. Have that no report. I think that Bandy's still reading books. When he gets his nose out of the books, he'll let us know.
Nerd.
What's going on? So there you go. There you have it. That's all I've been up to. Just been doing work on cars.
All right. Checking my notes here. I wasn't going to put this on here, but I guess I will.
we got nothing else. So, I mean, I'm still playing Forza 7. Still having a good time playing that, but I don't know how interested people are in that. I beat the main campaign, and now I'm doing like all the extra races. And you're racing cars, racing around track.
Driving a circle. That's what you do.
Sometimes you go left, sometimes you go right, sometimes you go straight.
Ooh. You're watching the Olympics. They run in circles too.
I only watched the Olympics. I did see a little bit of our female soccer team. They won gold. Other than that, I didn't watch anything else.
After they won, did you stand up and start cheering like, "Yeah, we did it. We did it." That's what you do.
It was quite an exciting ending because it's one of those ones where they had to go to sudden death. Like they went into overtime and nobody scored in overtime. So then they went into, I don't know, it's like a shootout kind of thing, but whatever.
Shootout.
Oh, yeah, man, they just basically there's just the player and the goaltender, and they get like a free kick, and they go through 5 rounds each, and so they did like they did a round of that, 5 each. They came out tied on the first round, then they went to the second round, and Canada won. But no, I never say we. I know a lot of fans do that. Even though it does kind of make sense for a Canadian, because you can say, well, I'm a Canadian, so my team did it and I paid for the team through my tax dollars. Sure, that's a way. But I always hate it. Like, I'm a Blue Jay fan, and I always hate it when like people call in show and like, we got to get this guy, we got to get that guy. And why don't we do this when we're out on field? Like, what do you mean we? What are you in on the decisions?
Take credit. That's all you do.
Well, that's what they want, right? Like, there's so many fans that are completely negative about the team. That's all. They're just negative all the time. The season's always over. It's always done because there's only 2 outcomes, right? If you are just constantly negative about your team, there are 2 outcomes, and you'll be happy either way. The team will suck and you'll be right and you'll be happy, or the team won't suck and do really well and you'll be happy. So all these people do are just setting themselves up to be happy. Like they just can't just enjoy the season for what it is. They just constantly got to be upset about the stupidest things.
All you sports people.
I can't stand it. But that's the only sports I watch is baseball. And it's great too because there's a channel now that reruns Leafs fans. Sarka Sim has it down. There's a channel that airs the baseball game in the evenings because I always go to bed early, so I miss half the game or whatever. So I get to watch the rest of it while I'm at work. It's good times.
Nice.
Yeah.
We're picking up steam in the chat here, though. We got 3 whole people now.
Yeah, look at that, eh? That's something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what have you been up to?
Tuned in for a whole lot of nothing that we've been doing.
Well, what have you been doing? What have you been up to?
I was sleeping. I was tired because I agreed to do this summer program at work. I didn't really want to do. I figured, all right, why not? And it was exhausting. I was 50-50 on whether I was going to show up today.
You could have canceled.
I could have, but then it was like, but then chances are I would have to wait like another 2 weeks.
Oh. Yeah, well, I really had nothing. Like, I have no idea what the hell to talk about. So if you would have canceled, it would have been great.
No, I did some stuff. I guess the biggest thing is I was playing games. I played the game that you recommended I play, the Wolf Among Us.
Oh, yeah.
The Telltale game.
And what'd you think?
And I liked it, even though I didn't like it when I started it. It took some time to grow on me. Mostly because I just didn't understand. It's a completely different game style than I've ever seen before. I guess it's even 50-50 whether you can call it a game or just an interactive story, because the decisions that you make sometimes seem to affect the game and sometimes it just feels like busy work.
Yeah, totally.
Because I start doing, and I knew it was all about the dialogue trees, right? You get the different options. So I pictured it as one of those like which way books, like if Batman chases the Joker, turn to page 72, and you get different outcomes to the stories. But ultimately there's like the main story that you're trying to get to the end of, and I could never do that with those books. I always got dead ends. And right away, it starts out with some altercation in an apartment building where you're fighting the woodsman. He's got an axe. And then it jumps to like quick time events. And I wasn't expecting that. So it's like, okay, left, right, up, down. And then at one point it says, hit the Q button. I'm like, okay, hit the Q button. And I get like an axe to the head. I'm like, oh, game over. What happened? All right, I guess I wasn't fast enough. So it comes up again. All right, I'm going to hit it fast this time. Hit that Q button. Dead. What's going on? Then I realized, like, you see the red come out. I was like, oh, you got to keep pounding on the key.
Oh, yeah, right.
So it took me a while to figure out exactly how to play that. And then you'd get to these moments where it felt a little more point and click. Like, okay, I got to walk across the room. There's something over there I can look at. Mm-hmm. And I didn't have the settings adjusted then. So everything that you could look at was like highlighted. Mm-hmm. It was like, okay, go over there, look at the thing. Okay, I look at the thing. All right, go over there. Pick up the thing. Okay, pick up the thing. And I see it added to my inventory. It's like, oh, I got a gun now. Oh, can I shoot people later on? No. It's like all these items you pick up, I guess you don't really have to. So I imagine by picking it up, maybe it's just expanding what your dialogue options are later.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, I remember one specifically where I took some money that I had found, and then I had to pay somebody, and the options were like give her what she asked for or give her all the money. So I guess, depending on what you do, you get different options. But kind of like you said you played it again and all the same people died.
Yeah.
So I imagine the main story doesn't change much. It's just how you experience it, the little details.
Yeah, pretty much. It wasn't that game. It was the Walking Dead ones.
Okay.
Where, like pretty much everyone died. And it's like, it's so silly because the game will say like all the decisions you make is going to affect how you play it and all that. And then something will happen. You'll be in a dialogue tree with someone and they'll say, someone will remember that. And you're like, oh, is that going to come back to haunt me later? And then they're dead. It's like, well, who cares if they remember that or not?
It said that, but it was doing that all the way till the end, like the final scene when you're talking to somebody and it's the end of the game. It's like, oh, so-and-so will remember that. Like, remember it through the credits? Like, There was one clever part where there was a guy who was like super drunk and it said, "Oh, he will not remember that."
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't mind, like, I generally hate QuickTime events in games. But
yeah,
I hate them for the most part because the game is like, I don't know, it's like a hack and slash, like the God of War games. And you're learning your moves and you're doing your thing with the chains and all that. And it's like, okay, I'm getting good at this. And then it's like, well, all that doesn't matter. You're just going to end up in a QuickTime event with this stupid boss, and I hate that in that. But in the Telltale games, that's what the game is, right? It's just QuickTime events and dialogue trees. So I don't know, it doesn't bother me as much because I'm not, messing around with any other skills other than that. And they do seem forgiving too. Like there is a wide window, I found anyways. Unlike some other games where they just give you a short, like if I hit the wrong button accidentally, it'll be forgiving and let me hit the right button the next time.
Right, you get hit by a car or something while you're the Wolfman, and it doesn't really matter. Yeah, it took me a while to get into it. Even the tone, because I know it's all like the fable characters, fairy tale characters, but it was set in like this film noir kind of style.
Yeah, it's weird.
Everybody's kind of jaded, and the swearing was like insane. Like everybody's constantly dropping F-bombs. Like, oh god, I gotta put earphones in case my kids walk by. And then the blood and the violence and all. And I don't mind twisting the fairy tales and stuff, but it took a while for it to settle with me of like what this whole game was and why they went with this tone. Everything was so somber. The music is the only part that I felt like you can get a little more active, a little lighter. I guess because when I play a lot of point and click games, which is what I imagine this was, they tend to be a little more upbeat, a little sarcastic and corny.
Right.
But this was just plain and straight.
Yep. Yeah.
But no, it was a fun thing to sit through. I did not like the third transformation of the wolf. Like he's a guy, and then he becomes kind of the cool half wolf man.
Right.
And then he becomes like this full wolf man that looks kind of dorky. But then at the end, when he goes full wolf, that was cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it was neat. I enjoyed it. And I'm curious to go back and see, like, if I do change my choices, how much would that affect the game? Probably not too much, but I don't know. Might be fun just to see. Yeah. There were other times where I pick something thinking it's going to come out a certain way, but then he delivers the line in completely the opposite way.
Yeah, that's kind of like a thing in all the games. It's like, I didn't really mean to say it like that,
Yeah. I was trying to be nice, and then he ends up like blowing his top. I'm like,
right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't say exactly what's written there.
Yeah. Or like it'll come off as completely wimpy, and they're you'll get like some sort of like off-putting answer or something from the other person.
What was your style for going in with him? Like, how did you play his character?
Oh, I went in like just the facts, like cold. I'm not going to play your game. I'm not going to play your game. Just give me the facts. Let's get the job done, kind of thing.
Throughout the whole game?
Yeah, I was fairly consistent. I might have like you did, like meant to go in that direction, and then he said something that was like in the opposite direction or whatever. I did not like there was your friend the pig.
Yeah.
I feel like he was my friend, so I did the thing where you could kind of protect him and not send him away or whatever, and I kind of let him slide because he just seemed to be. You could tell he was there because the wolf felt sorry for him for some reason. So I just kept
the big bad wolf.
Right. He blew down his house, I guess, or ate his friends.
In different versions of the story, you would have eaten his friends but I assume there was the one Dr. Swinehart, and I kept thinking, like, is that supposed to be one of his brothers? I can't think of any other pigs from fairy tales.
I don't know. There was a lot of fairy tales that, like, the things that just went over my head, like the Crooked Man. I'm not sure who that is.
I think there was a crooked man who lived in a crooked house, and I think that's like all it is. He's got a crooked wife.
I keep meaning to like look the stuff up, and then I forget.
Yeah.
But there was a few I didn't know. And then, I guess so. Right. Yeah. Because there was the one pig that lived in the house of wood. And if he blows down the house and he eats the pig, right? But then, like, the nicer version is that the pig escapes and goes and lives with
they
the
run to
house
the next
of hay or something. It was a house of hay, house of wood, and then a house of bricks, right?
Straw, sticks, and bricks.
Okay. It's been a long time for me. It probably hasn't been as long for you because you got kids and you probably read them these stories.
That, and I cannot ever get that green jelly song out of my head.
Yeah, right.
That comes back all the time.
I think I have that CD. Crooked Man shows up in one of the Conjuring movies too. I don't know what that is. Conjuring movies.
Oh, you've conjured Kyle.
Conjured Kyle. Hello, chat. He's not saying hello to us. He's saying hello to everyone in the chat.
Well, there's a hello, gents, above that.
Oh, there is. Oh, I see.
We did get first.
Oh, okay, that's good. That's good.
So, yeah, I tried to play him that same way because he immediately, to me, just looked like Wolverine. And he sounds like Wolverine. So I figure, like, just tell me what I got to know. I'm just going to do what I got to do, and I'm going to get out of here because I don't like any of you people. But then as the game went on, I was like, okay, you can see clearly he's trying to make a connection with Snow White. So I was like, all right, I'll do the Hollywood script. He's going to be the gruff guy, and then he's going to,
Yeah, I was always nice to her. I was nice to her as well. And it's funny, too, because the game kind of plays with, like, there's that other friend, the frog guy, who has the kid, and, they're supposed to take this drug in order to look like humans among the human people, but it's expensive. They can't afford it. So it kind of plays on a lot of morality and stuff like that. So yeah, I like that part.
Yeah, because there's no right answer, wrong answer. It's just how you choose to play the character. So I was slapping that frog around.
Anytime
I was, I played it like, I don't care, I don't want to be here. But as soon as somebody started resisting, it was like, all right, if I had the option of hit him, rip his arm off, whatever.
Oh, wow. No, I didn't. I think I went through the whole game without hitting anyone. I didn't hit anyone. I didn't kill anyone.
It came back to haunt me. I wasn't sure when this was going to come back, but at the end, when everybody's in that little circle and you get little notices like, oh, they're starting to side with so-and-so. I'm like, oh, no. How do I get them back?
Yeah, I didn't even kill. There was Twiddledee and Twiddledum. I let them both live. And I just figured that they were all, kind of misunderstood or something, like they weren't really bad people. They were trying to do a good thing in some way. They were just kind of getting played by this crooked man thing. So I played enough of these games to know that it's like, yeah, I hate that guy and I'm going to like screw that guy over. And then you find out later that he was doing the thing because he was trying to save his kids or something like that, So.
Oh, it's fun stuff. I like the art style too. It very much looked like a comic, like a lot of the bold lines. It looked like Beautiful Joe, actually.
Yeah,
especially the background's kind of like sketchy art style.
What's that called? Cell shaded.
Was it cell shaded?
Yeah, sort of.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't super 3D. It was meant to be kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess they were kind of 3D models still. I don't know. Anyways, it was very cartoony, but it worked.
Good stuff.
Got to be very violent too. You can get away with more violence with the cartoons,
Yeah.
Like having the decapitated heads and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a different kind of game I played. For some reason on Game Pass, Quake showed up. They do this thing. ID does this thing called, or id does this thing called QuakeCon. Hey, look at this. We even have Dean in the chat.
Dino.
Happy birthday, Dean.
Oh, yeah. Deanie had a birthday.
I guess they do this thing called QuakeCon, and I'm guessing that's why Quake just showed up on Game Pass. So I started playing it on the Xbox because it's a very short download. There's not much info there. And I can't play that game with the controller. It was... I don't know. I don't know how you people do it. I was adjusting the sliders and all that. I just couldn't do it. So then I went on the PC, and it was thankfully it was available on Game Pass for the PC as well. And not only did they have Quake on the PC, but they had Quake 2, and Quake 3. Now Quake, the first Quake, they kind of redid it. Like you used to have to jump through a few hoops on the PC to get it to play in OpenGL, so you can get like the best graphics and all that stuff. But they just kind of fixed it all up, so you don't have to do any of that. And it even had achievements in it and everything. Quake 2 and 3 just seemed to be straight ports, though. They didn't really do anything to them. But Quake 2 still looks great, man. That game came out in 1997, and it looks like a late-gen PlayStation 2 game, Like, it looks like it's ready for the Xbox 360. And it came out in 1997. It's crazy. But just kind of messed around with that and just played the first few levels of that, and that game still holds up. And I don't know if this is blasphemy to say. I don't know. It might be. But I think I enjoy that first Quake game. I actually really enjoy Quake 2 as well. But I think I like Quake better than I like Doom.
Really?
I think so. Because I go back and I'll play Doom. And I'm liking it. I'm like, yeah, that's good. Still good, and all that. But Quake, like, really sucks me in. Like, it's like, oh, man, like I'm going around the corners and all that stuff. And it's quicker, and I like the jumping and everything. I think I like that Quake better. Over time, it's just kind of growing on me more than Doom has.
I've tried playing those like Quake and Unreal and stuff, but it's too fast for me. Like it's constantly just like, I'm always moving, always jumping, always running. And if you're into that deathmatch stuff, but too fast for me.
So the third one is just death matches, right? Like that third game just came out. It's like online only. You can only play against other people. I've never been a fan of that. I'd like playing through the campaign kind of thing and going around the corners and dodging enemies and stuff like that. And the only thing that's missing, though, the only thing that Doom has over Quake is the soundtrack. Doom has that amazing soundtrack with all the heavy metal stuff and all that. Whereas Quake, the soundtrack was done by the Nine Inch Nails guy, Trent Reznor. And it's all like ambient noises and stuff like that. It's not like the heavy metal rock. For some reason, they went in that direction, which is fine. It works on some level. But what I prefer to do is to take that music slider, turn it all the way down, turn it to 0, and then go on Spotify and just look up the Doom soundtrack and play that on down while you're playing the Quake. And it's the best of both worlds. You got the Doom soundtrack and you're playing Quake. Good times. And if you get tired of the Doom soundtrack, because, hey, dude, just play some Pantera or something like that. Same thing. Slayer. Get it on. It's good times.
You and your PC gaming with all your customization and stuff.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. Oh, look at that. We even got Rocket Sauce in here.
Hey, Ryan.
Dean has been playing Quake as well. It's great. You're totally getting Quake 2 on Steam. Do you recommend Quake 4 as well? Yes, Quake 4 is a very underrated game. I enjoyed that one. Now, some people don't like it because I guess it is a little more slow. It's not as fast as Quake 1 and 2, but I enjoyed Quake 4 quite a bit. I think if you go back in my Twitter feed, whenever I replayed it, I think I tweeted out a bunch of screenshots from it. It's good times. Quake 64. I don't know. Jury's still out on that one.
I don't know if anybody should make any claims about Nintendo 64 games on this podcast.
I mean, I played that Doom 64 finally, and it was okay, but it was no Doom. It was all right.
Hey, speaking of horrible Nintendo 64 games.
Take your pick.
Well, Nintendo 64 to me seems to be like one of the starting points of all those 3D platformers where you gotta run around and collect everything.
Yeah.
I finally started playing Psychonauts, which I know is not a Nintendo 64 game, but it is one of those god-awful 3D platforming, jump around and collecting games, which I didn't know. I bought it because it was a Tim Schafer game.
Yeah.
And it usually goes on sale for like $1. So I bought it a long time ago, and I was sitting there, and I don't know why. Maybe is there like a Psychonauts 2 that just came out or something?
Yes. Well, it's coming out, I think.
Okay, because
or maybe it is out already.
Somehow the seed was planted in my head. So when I finished the Wolf game, I was like, all right, why not throw this Psychonauts game, see what it's all about. I like the Tim Schafer sense of humor. I turn it on and it's like, oh God, it's one of these games. Gotta run and jump and pick things up. And I hate them so much. I just can't tolerate them. But I started playing it, and thankfully the story, the sense of humor, the wisecracks and all that, and just the sheer bizarre nature of the whole thing of like going into people's heads, and that's where all your platforming is. I really do enjoy the game. It's a lot of fun. I'm probably about halfway through, but I really can't say if I'm going to finish it because every time I get into one of these games, no matter how much I enjoy it, I just can't stick with it all the way till the end. It happened to me with that Ocarina of Time. It happened to me with the one that you gave me, the
Ratchet and Clank.
Ratchet and Clank. Yeah, I got to like the last level, and I just like it's like I can't do it anymore. They're really good games. They're well designed. There's a lot of fun and creativity in them, but for some reason, these platformers just they always get me. But this one is really fun too. It's very clever, very interesting.
Yeah, I've never finished it as well. And as much as I love Psychonauts, and I think I have it on like several different platforms. Mm-hmm. I've never finished it. I made it to the end boss, and it is like a chore you gotta climb this. I just remember trying to climb this giant being, I think, or something. It was like right at the end. It was very close to the end. And the platforming, I think I played it on the Xbox, and the platforming is pretty janky.
It's not too bad for when, I mean, I don't know if they've made any adjustments with
it's one of those. It's one of those things. Well, yeah, you maybe played it on the PC, so I don't know. Maybe it's a little different, but I remember it being one of those things where, yeah, it's not too bad because the game isn't that difficult, but that end boss was pretty difficult. And if you made a little mistake, you're starting all the way down at the bottom. You got to go all the way back up, kind of thing. And that's when like the little things that you kind of could forgive because it's not that difficult of a game start becoming really annoying.
Yeah, because I noticed that with a lot of the levels that once you reach a certain point, they'll give you like okay, if you've missed a jump, you step on this, we'll send you right back.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that makes it pretty easy, but yeah, maybe towards the end.
If I'm remembering it right.
Yeah, I mean, really clever. Really, I understand why people love this game. In fact, it triggered an old memory. The name of one of the characters is Sasha 9. I was like, I've heard this name before, and it hit me. There's a long time ago, one of the earlier YouTube game reviewers. There was this guy. It was called Still Gaming. And he didn't film himself in video. Instead, he took snapshots, like still photos, and he would just like pose and do things and talk about the game.
Okay.
And it was a really interesting style. I haven't seen anybody else do that. And he had the personality to pull it off. But I really enjoyed his reviews. So after I played this, I went and I looked him up, and he stopped making videos a really long time ago, but then after like 12 years, like just last year, he did a couple more, but now I think he stopped again. I don't know. And I remember he always had like a big Psychonauts poster on the back of his videos. So, yeah, speaking of mouse and keyboard versus controller, I was using a controller for this game. But then one night, for some reason, the controller wouldn't work. All that would come up were the mouse and keyboard prompts. I was like, all right, let me figure this out. No, I cannot do mouse and keyboard for these kind of platforms.
No, that was like, platformer.
If my controller doesn't start working again, I'm tapping out on this. And thankfully, it did go.
No, I don't know. Like Twitch or aka Ryan, aka what is he? Retro Gamer Ranted. He plays like all those games with mouse and keyboard. I don't know how he does it. Not that. Like I do like first-person shooters, third-person shooters.
Yeah.
Those are like, mouse and keyboard games, but yeah.
Certain
Kyle hates it when people stop making YouTube videos. Yeah, well, there's two of them right here. You know what? So Dean says he hasn't played too many Double Fine games, but he really enjoyed Broken Age. That is one I don't believe I played. I think I started it and I never got too far into it.
Mm-hmm.
But I played, what was the Jack Black one?
The guitar guy.
Yeah, I played that one. That one's really good.
Brutal Legend,
yeah. And then there's the one where
never even owned the game, and I know that.
The Russian stacking dolls game, Stacked. That one that's a fun game. Fun little game. I do like Double Fine games.
I don't know. Check them out. I don't know. I'll see if I can finish this off. And then I'll probably not play any more games for another couple of months.
Yeah, so that was it. Just Quake and Forza. That's all I've been playing. Oh, I did start a little bit of Michonne, the Walking Dead Michonne. But that I didn't get very far into that. That was it. That's all I played. Movies. I watched all in my world, all the Indiana Jones movies this week. It's been a long time since I've seen them.
You can still say that.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to fight you on it.
No. I mean, the Crystal Skull is there. It's there. I could see it. It's there, but I didn't click on it for some reason.
That's fan fiction. It doesn't count.
Yeah. Well, it's so funny too, because in the first movie, in Raiders of the Lost Ark, I can't remember, Brody, I think I can't remember his friend who's a little bit older, right? He's a guy who runs the museum. Yeah. And he runs the museum, and Indy always brings back stuff, and he's like, here it is. He's like, yeah, the museum will pay you for that or whatever. And in Raiders of the Lost Ark, when there's, he's starting to find out about the Lost Ark and that, and Brody says, you know what? And Brody's about 55 in the first movie. It's like, you know what? If I was about 5 years younger, I'd go out and I'd look for that myself. There's freaking Indy's 80 years old now. He's gonna be out there. See, that's what I mean. He's too old. Harrison Ford is too old to play Indiana Jones. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah,
he's too old. It takes it out. Like, you want it, like when you're a kid and you're watching Indiana Jones, like, yeah, I'd like to grow up and be like that. Man, you don't know who wants to be an old man. I'm sorry. It's just, he's too old. Get a different actor. Just do something else. Don't. Done. It's done. It's over, Johnny. It's over. Anyways, I watched them because I wanted to make sure that, like, I know I put them on my list, but it's been a long time since I've seen them. I had the 4K discs on my wish list forever, but the price just won't go down. And I put on Netflix and was like, I don't know if they were there before or not, but they were there now. I'm like, yep. All the Indiana Jones are there. Why don't I just watch them here? So I watched 1, 2, and 3, and I'm happy with the order I put them all in. I think the first one is really good. It's got a couple of little slow parts in it, but it's, it's good. It takes them a while to get, out there to the Ark. They got to do all that building up and everything. The second one, I love, the opening. I forgot how good the opening for Temple of Doom is. It is really well done. I know some people hate it. I know some people hate it because they say it's like a musical, but I think it's like a tongue-in-cheek kind of musical thing.
She disappears into the dragon, and then it's like this big stage, and it's all for fun.
Yeah, I don't know. The opening is really strong, but man, once Kate Capshaw I can't do it, man. I can't do it. She's just so terrible. Like you got in the first movie, you got what's her name?
You can do it. You can do it.
I'm blanking on her name.
Are you going for character or actress?
Is it Karen Allen? Is that the actress's name? Right, that's the actress name, but the character's name I can't remember.
Starts with an M.
Meredith?
Marion.
Okay. Well, she's such a strong character, could keep up with Indiana Jones, and just really didn't need him. She could go off on her own adventures. They could make Marion movies if they wanted to, but Kate Capshaw is just this terrible cliched blonde bimbo character that's just very shallow and all about possessions and just complains throughout the whole movie. And it's like you're on an Indiana Jones adventure. You want to be with Indiana Jones, and all she's doing is complaining is that she's with Indiana Jones. It's just too much gross. And what were so there were supposed to be 5 stones, right? Mm-hmm. And the bad guys only found 3, but they're still able to take over people's minds and puncture their heart and rip them out with just the 3 stones. So, but what were so then they have these mines with these kids in the mines, and the kids were mining something. What were the kids mining? What was that about? Were they looking for the other 2 stones? Okay, yep. So why did they need kids to look for the other 2 stones?
I don't know, free labor.
But why didn't they just grab people then?
I don't know.
Just grab the men in the village.
To take. Are you looking for plot holes in Indiana Jones?
I was wondering if I missed something. I don't know. I was wondering why are the kids there? Because in England
they got them digging for the stones.
In the 1800s in England, they would get kids to work in the mines because they were small, and they wouldn't have to make the mines as big, and they were needed to get into parts to get the coal out. But that didn't seem to be the problem here. They're just looking for some stones.
Yeah, well, you saw what happens once one adult got introduced in there. He took them all down.
Well,
kids are easy to boss around.
Sarah says 2 is misogynistic and makes her so feeble. I agree, Sarah. No good. He's no good. Hey, I got Kings, and he says hello. Hello.
And he's got a jelly puddle on his picture. I don't know.
Kyle says, does anyone think the Crystal Skull would have been better if it did come out in the 90s after Last Crusade? No. I mean, that third movie is really good. It is really, like, the way that it ends with just Indy and his dad and his friend, and they ride off into the sunset. It's perfect. It's just a great ending to the series. The first one is, it's got an arc. The second one is just like, let's make part 2, make it more gross than the first one. And then the third one is like, it's kind of like Indy's arc, like the ending of, like, you learn like why he is the way he is because of, the relationship with his dad. And, it all comes just great at the end. Like, you don't need to do anything more with Indiana Jones at the end of that movie. It's just perfect finish. Good times. Mm-hmm. But no, they made more. And I think, the Crystal Skull has more problems than just Indiana Jones being old. It's got terrible plot idea, aliens. It's no good.
Have you seen it more than just the one time?
No. Should I watch it more than just one time?
I don't know. I saw it in the theater. That's it.
Wow.
Sometimes I think maybe I should go check it out again and see, like, is it really that bad? Was it just a shock when I saw it the first time? But I don't know. I've seen the other 3 multiple times over the years, like I said, and I have no desire to really go back into the other one.
No, I saw it there, and like the thumbnail for it is just really old Indiana Jones, and I'm nah. Plus, like, the CG was bad.
That came out
2008.
Okay, so was that Lucas trying to, like, oh god, these prequels are never gonna go away. Let's make something else. Cover that up. And
I don't know.
That didn't work. I don't know. It is what it is. Who cares? Just watch the movies you like.
Yeah. So speaking of the movies I liked, I was on some Mike Ladano show when they were talking about the Steven Spielberg, and then I was on it again when they were talking about animated movies, and this movie came up twice on both shows, and that is The Adventures of Tintin. It's an animated movie directed by Steven Spielberg. Have you seen this movie?
I have not seen it, but I do have right here my whole collection of all the Tintin comics, which I really enjoy. They're not up to par with your superhero comics and things. They're just fun little silly adventures. And I enjoy these enough that I keep debating with myself if I'm going to watch that movie, because it's kind of like when you enjoy a book, you don't want the you don't want to start seeing the actors, in your head and stuff. I don't want to start picturing that. I'm not quite sure. If you say it was really good, maybe I'll check it out. But
I wouldn't say it was really good. I'd say it was pretty good. It was
pretty good.
Yeah, it was like a little maybe above average.
Okay.
It was a fun movie. I don't think the actor will stick out in your head because it's a no-name actor that does Tintin.
Mm-hmm.
You got Simon Pegg and Nick Frost to do the two, the guys with the bowler hats and the mustaches.
Oh, okay. Like Thompson and Thompson.
Yeah. He did those guys. I don't think anyone else would really. There was there was one actor. He does like a ton of. He did Gollum in the Lord of the Rings movies.
Andy Serkis.
Yeah. He plays like the pirate character in the movie, and he was really good. He was probably the standout in it, but it was pretty good. I thought it was good. Like it's Spielberg schmaltz and stuff, but it's like a cartoon, so kind of like forgive a little bit of the plot holes and stuff like that. And you can see why. Like at first, when we were first watching it, we're like, why did they make this into a cartoon? Like it's like everything is very reality based. Like there's not like it doesn't get too crazy. And then towards the end of the movie, it's like, okay, I see why he wanted to make this into a cartoon.
Well, I'm guessing it'd be very difficult to capture the same vibe if you put real actors in there.
Yeah. And well, like it's not like the animation at all, right? Like from the books, like there's one part where he's having his picture drawn on the street by a cartoon artist, and he it's Tintin from the comic books that the cartoon artist draws. But like the animation was incredible. Like this movie came out in 2011, and I'm sure they used that motion capture thing, but like just all the facial expressions and everything it looked incredible. And it was funny because the very next movie we watched was a movie called Dinosaurs from Disney that came out like about 10 years before that.
I know that one, yeah.
And the animation was terrible in it from 2000, I think it was. And it just looked awful. Like just a huge step back in animation in 11 years. But Tintin looked great. So yeah, I recommend it. Why not?
We gotta watch it. I see it on Netflix all the time, but yeah, I just couldn't bring myself to watch it.
Yeah, Sarah read the books too. She read them in French.
Oh my goodness!
We grappled to take those books out at our school library when we were kids. Yeah, because he's originally Belgian, right? Which is mainly French.
The Belgian,
yeah.
Hergé. I don't even know how to say the guy's name. Secret of the Unicorn, is that the one that the movie was based on? I think with the pirate ship.
Well, yeah, that's right. Yeah, yep, totally. So Andy Serkis plays that pirate character in that. Okay. And now I got to warn you too. It does kind of end in a little bit of a cliffhanger because apparently this was like a collaboration between Spielberg and Peter Jackson, and Peter Jackson was supposed to make the next Tintin movie once he was done with the Hobbit movies. And he's been done with the Hobbit movies for quite a while now. And there's still no Tintin Part 2. So it does come to a satisfying conclusion, but there is a little bit at the end where you're like, oh, where's that next movie? This came out in 2011. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, it takes time to make these animated movies, but not that much time.
Dinosaurs was not great. This is Sarcasm, and Rocket Sauce asked, was John Goodman in it? It was not John Goodman. In Dinosaurs, it was Della Reese from Touched by an Angel. And I can't remember anyone else. Angelina Margulies from ER.
Oh, yes. She's eternally from ER.
Yeah.
No matter what she does, she's always from ER.
No, she's same with Clooney. I still say Clooney from ER.
From ER.
Right.
From Roseanne.
Yeah, why not? Go right back to Roseanne.
Hair J.
Hair J is pronounced Hair J.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hair J. Hey, speaking of good movies, I did not watch any. I watched the new Mortal Kombat movie, and I want to say that the one from 1995 is better.
Is that just because of the song?
Well, that song is awesome. I love that song. That song will never get old. That movie was cheesy and corny, and I'm pretty sure it was like a PG-13 when that came out. And this one is all like rated R and blood and gore, and it is so boring and poorly acted and stupid. And like, you figure all this time they'd come out with something to do with the Mortal Kombat storyline to make it interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's just a video game, but no, it was terrible. And I also started watching Suicide Squad, the one from a few years ago.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's garbage too.
Yeah.
I turned that off.
How far did you make it?
It was something I downloaded to my phone, and I was watching it while I ate lunch at work, and I'd like watch like 10 minutes. I don't care about this. And the next day, watch 10 minutes. I don't care about this yet. Forget it.
Yeah. You're not missing much. I stuck through it because they said once Batman gets on there, it's going to be good times. So
he was there in like the first 5 minutes. They show him.
Oh yeah.
He just stands there.
No, but then he has like he has a fight with the Batmobile. That wasn't at the beginning.
I didn't get to that.
Okay, yeah, that's the part that I want to see because they shot that in Toronto too. So that's always fun to kind of see where you can spot the Toronto. Spot the Toronto. Sarah says Mortal Kombat fight. And Rocket Sauce agrees. The new MK movie sucks.
Yeah. There was one interesting character, Kung Lao. Like, they did him pretty well, and he had some interesting like moments. At least like you're watching the movie and it's a flat line, and it's like, oh, he's kind of cool. Now he's dead. All right, whatever.
I don't even like what kind of story can you make out of that? Like it's the video game just like let's get a bunch of characters together and have them fight.
Yeah, it's like we're gonna have guys fight. We need a story to put them in here. Okay, this realm and this realm, they have this tournament and blah blah blah. People come together. There you go. Sell the game. Try to make a movie out of it.
Yeah, because there was no like real lead character in that game. The lead character was the one you chose.
They make a brand new character. Like it's like a descendant of Scorpion. And then at the end, Scorpion comes back to fight Sub-Zero, and that's the whole thing. Mm. It's dumb.
Sarah wants to know if Nightwolf is in any of these films. I think they would get arrested if they put Nightwolf in these films.
It's largely the Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 cast.
Well, Nightwolf is in 2.
No. Incorrect.
But I play Mortal Kombat 2 with Sarah all the time. Maybe I'm playing
Nightwolf 3. Is not in there. In 3, maybe. I really don't know all the characters from 3 after. 1 and 2 I had as a kid, so I know those characters.
Nightwolf archetypal?
Archetypal?
How do you say that? He's a Native American hero, historian, and shaman who was first introduced in Mortal Kombat 3. He's shown to be proud and fierce warrior.
In the original movies, the second one, Annihilation, I do believe he was in that.
Well, so I'm just talking like
second movie.
I'm just talking Sarah and I playing Mortal Kombat. I guess it was 3.
I got a couple of kernels of knowledge up here.
That's right. I played 3 with Sarah, and I played 2. That's what I had in college, was Mortal Kombat 2. By the way, someone sent me I wonder if I still have it. It was, it's not that funny, I guess. Go looking for it. Maybe I can. Maybe I can find it. Let's see here. Let's see. You tell me if this is funny or not. I'm going to share my screen, my second screen. There you go. Tell me if this is funny.
What am I looking at?
Are you seeing it or
okay. I totally did not see. I totally did not see the text that said before coronavirus and after coronavirus. Okay. So sad. Yeah. All right.
Rocket Sauce says it's funny, and I got Kings says he's funny. So there you go. We got two funnies. All right. 3 Ultimate is the best. Okay.
Sometimes I swear, like maybe I really do have a little dyslexia or something, because sometimes I just totally do not see words that are right in front of my face.
Functionally illiterate. That's what my math teacher would say you are, because you skip parts.
Yeah. Sometimes my eye will go to the center of something before going to the beginning, and it's like, I don't know. Part of me, I think I just don't care.
Anyways, if you're listening, I posted an image of that you got to go see on YouTube. It's a Mortal Kombat image, and it's just everyone who was wearing a mask in Mortal Kombat survived the coronavirus. There you go. Just imagine someone riding in the car. What are they talking about? If somebody still listens to us while riding in the car.
Listening to this.
No, probably not. Probably not. Okay.
Is that all we got? Dozen people are looking at us.
Is that all we got? Do we got anything else? What's
I mentioned that I wanted to plug the holes in my movie collection, so I did pick up a few things. I got the Big Lebowski I didn't have. I have it now.
Oh, nice. That's a good one.
Gremlins 2 I picked up.
This is on DVD?
No, I've transitioned.
You're up to Blu-ray status.
I'm trying to. I'm replacing some others with updating from DVD to Blu-ray.
Kyle's got a good question here. He wants to know when's the Marvel-thon continuing. When are you going to stop watching DC movies?
Oh gosh. Well, I watched Captain America is next. That's the next one.
That's been the next one for a while now, hasn't it? You watched Iron Man, the Hulk,
Iron Man, the Hulk, Iron Man 2. Thor.
Right.
So I've still got what? September, October, November, December, 4 months.
You're going to watch the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe before the end of the year. That was the
goal, to do the 24, 23 movies in 1 year.
All right.
I'm already down 4.
All right. 20 movies. Get them in you.
I'm trying.
All right. It only took you 8 months. They got 4.
Well, no, I completed 4 probably like in 6 months or so.
Okay.
Whenever the Thor was.
Right.
Doubt me? When did I watch Thor? June?
I believe you. 100%.
I still keep track of this stuff. Thor was in May, so it only took me 5 months to do.
Okay, sure. So it took you 5 months to watch 4 movies.
4 movies.
And now you got 4 months to watch 20 movies. Or so. I'm guessing
or so.
It's 20. Yes.
I'm not counting there because I know I keep track of things. I know there was a new one that came out.
Yes.
The Black Widow had a movie.
Yes.
That one doesn't count because that wasn't part of my original deal.
Did you see the well, we talked a little. I guess we did talk a little bit about that. The controversy, how they put that out on the streaming services before they were supposed to.
Something about like she was supposed to get paid for theatrical or something. Yeah. So it's all money. I don't make enough money. Give me more money.
Well, Disney makes a ton of dough off of these things. It's like Chris Rock says, you look at the basketball player and you say, boy, that guy's rich. But the guy who's wealthy is the guy who pays them. Guy who can afford LeBron James. Yeah, LeBron James is rich, but just think there is a guy out there who can afford LeBron James. And that's the guy. That's the guy right there. Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right.
Yeah. Whatevs. Yeah, I guess that's about it.
That's it. Yeah. Well, I guess not much gas in the tank for this episode. Sorry, but it's just been a busy time. I mean, I went to my cousin's wedding. We went out. That wasn't exciting. I mean,
social interaction.
Yeah, well, I kind of felt bad because no one in my family was going to show up because everyone's too afraid with the coronavirus, and Sarah and I are double vaxxed. So what the heck? Let's go to the thing. So we went to our first family gathering since 2019, I guess. It was all right. Talked to my cousin. Just talked to my cousin Guido. Who's like full on Italian.
Is that his name, Cousin Guido?
His name is Guido, and he's my cousin, so I call him Cousin Guido.
Well, I mean, sometimes people throw Guido out as just a stereotype.
No, his name is Guido, and it's funny too because he. I guess I went to go get Sarah a drink, and the first thing he says to Sarah is like, "Because this is the way he talks. He even talks like the Godfather." He's like, "Sarah, is he treating you right?" And she says, yes. He's treating me okay. Like, okay, because if he's not, things can happen. And she says, no, I need to keep him around for a little longer.
He's got to fix my car.
Yeah, pretty much.
Guido get that done in like 5 minutes.
Guido, no. He's not really a handyman. No, he's the kind of guy. Yeah, he would get someone else to do it for him. He would get someone to cut his grass. He would get someone to clean his car. He would get someone to fill up his car. Like he had like all sorts of connections, man. All sorts. He's not in the mafia though, but he knows people.
He's got to know people. That's it.
Yeah. It's
what
funny
you
too.
Think and what he knows, it doesn't matter.
It's funny too because he will meet up with like all sorts of like he's in the sports, right, in the hockey world and all that, and he's met up with like a whole bunch of hockey people. And he gets autographs and whatnot. And you probably don't know him, but there's a baseball player. He's one of the best baseball players of this generation anyways. His name is Mike Trout, and he plays for the California Angels, or I guess they're the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim or Anaheim. I can't remember. They keep changing their name. Anyways, that team he plays for. And he is a distant relative of ours. There was two families that came over on the boat, and they landed in New Jersey. There was two brothers from our family, and they landed in New Jersey. One stayed in New Jersey, and the other moved up north, and that's like my descendants. But he is the descendants of the other brothers who stayed in New Jersey. Mm-hmm. And when I saw Guido, like maybe 8 years ago or something like that, he says to me, he tells me this. He's like, I didn't know Mike Trout was our relative. He's like, yeah, he's the brother and all that and all. When next time they come to Toronto, I'm gonna meet up with him, and I'm gonna get everyone autographs and all that. And I'm like, all right, sure, whatever. You do your thing, Guido. Next time I see him, like maybe a couple of years later, I'm like, hey, Guido, so what happened with Mike Trout? He's like, I don't even want to talk about it. and Guido's like, he loves the bullshit, right? He'll like just tell, like whatever story, he'll just go on and on. Wouldn't even talk. He's like, I screwed it up so bad, I can't even talk about it. Like, whoa. That's the real story right there. I wish I could find out what happened.
Oh man, poor Guido. We need more Guido stories.
I could get you. None of it is true. Like he, what was he telling me? That in my hometown, Coniston, where I grew up, he was the only one who had a truck. So he would deliver the bread throughout all of Coniston when he was a kid. When he was, and he would drive this 1/2-ton truck and deliver bread. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, well, what, like you were a kid, like what, you were, 16, 17? He's like, no, I was 8 years old. Like 8 years old, you're driving around in a 1/2-ton truck. It's like, yeah. And those trucks, they had a clutch. So you had to like constantly like move the clutch. And I'm like, you mean so it was a manual transmission? He's like, no, they had a clutch. You had to move the clutch. I'm like, okay. You were 8 years old. Sure thing. I had
a guy like that in elementary school when we were like 10 years old, and he'd be telling all these stories of how he was riding horseback and running away from bulls and all this. It's just, you always have that person that you encounter in life.
But he would surprise you. Something like I don't know. It's like sometimes he's full of shit, and then other times he isn't. He's kind of surprised you. He's all over the place. That guy. People are asking what happened to STC Pod. Like we would have any sort of Guido took care of STC. Yeah, I'm sure that would be something. As far as I know, it's all one-sided. That's all I know. It's one-sided, and one person still wants to do it, and the other person doesn't. And apparently, has to do with the live YouTube thing. So, you can still catch the vinyl show over on STC channel, which is happening tomorrow night. I'm in the S's. I showed Santana stuff, so hope they're still friends. Yeah, they had good chemistry. Yeah, they're still friends. Joe's just doing his own thing, like Sarah says. But yeah, I think Joe is just kind of done with it. I don't know what's going on over there. I agree. I think they had a good show. They had some good chemistry there. I don't know why they don't want to do it anymore, or why one of them doesn't want to do it anymore, but what can you do? What can you say? All right.
No.
I think that's it. We're out of gas. I resorted to talking about my cousin Guido. That's how. I mean, maybe we should do something like over the next 2 weeks to give us something to talk about.
Well, I am officially on summer break now from my morning responsibilities, so I will have time to do things. Whether or not they get done, I don't know. Do we need a gimmick? Do we need to come up with a list of top 10 animated movies or something like that to spark some life?
Top 10. Maybe we should have a guest. Maybe we should save up our money for get a guest.
Fly somebody in.
Yeah. Save up the cash. Maybe we can get Joe on here and ask him like, "Hey, what's going on? How come you're not doing the show anymore?" You wouldn't get the real Joe. You would just get stage Joe.
I don't know.
Well, Sarah says we got to keep recording because dinner isn't ready yet.
One thing I was thinking of, just because another thing I saw that buried itself in my head. I was reading something about Back to the Future, and it credited as being like one of its attributes is that it's one of the few film franchises that has no bad entries. I was like, that's absolutely right. They're all three good movies.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, what are other films that have no bad entries, like a film franchise? And then I started debating, like, well, where does the line draw? Like, do you count reboots? Do you count like something like Batman, where they've had so many different versions? Like, you got to cut it to like what is one segment in that history. Because clearly Ghostbusters is one that's kind of wishy-washy, right?
Yeah.
You count the first two movies, like, yeah, second one is not perfect, but it's still fun. It's not bad.
No.
So you can say that. But then do you count the reboot? And then this Afterlife, that's tied directly to it. Is that going to count?
Yeah,
stuff.
like I'm looking, there's Mad Max, but you had that Beyond the Thunderdome.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like weak is okay. Is basically my vision of bad is, would you turn it off? Is it something you can't watch? You're just like, this kind of stinks.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Like
if
the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies. The third one, it's got its faults, but is it really bad? Kind of.
What about the Rocky movies?
I still have not seen the final Rocky movie, so I can't say.
Balboa?
Rocky Balboa.
Yeah, that's good. I think the only weak one really is 5. Well,
5 is weak.
4 is kind of stupid too.
4 is dumb, but it's fun. 5 is dumb, and it's sometimes fun, and sometimes that kid gets on your nerves.
Yeah.
Well, the ones Back to the Future is clearly on there. For me, Bill and Ted is on there because even though the third one's kind of weak, first two are really strong. Third one, I'm okay with it. I know you're not a fan, but Gremlins 1 and 2 are fine for me.
I mean, Gremlins is okay. The first Gremlins okay.
It's certainly not a bad movie.
No.
I'm sure some people would say like Lord of the Rings.
John Wick.
John Wick's movies. Second one is a little,
but they're all good movies.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. That's true.
That's it. That's all I got. I mean, like everything else, like
there's always like one stinker in there.
Yeah, like it's the Godfather. Obviously, Godfather 3.
I wrote one more down. The Naked Gun movies. Third one is fine.
Yeah,
it's not great. It's not bad.
Yeah.
Bad. It's weak.
Yeah. It is weak. The Man with No Name. Sarah's got that one. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
You got The Fistful of Dollars, Few Dollars More, and Good, Bad, the Ugly, and then Duck You Sucker, if you want to count that one. They're all three were good. You got Captain America. I mean, all three movies are Captain America movies. Iron Man, the third one was pretty bad. Godfather, third one was bad.
I haven't seen 3 or 4 in a very long time, but you watched them not too long ago. Lethal Weapon movies.
Yeah, well, the quality
it goes like this. Yeah,
it's kind of like Lethal Weapon 1, and then like it just kind of, I don't know, little dip, and then it just kind of flatlines. Like to me, it's just there's no like, I wouldn't say Lethal Weapon 4 is any worse than Lethal Weapon 2. They're just kind of all the same. Although there are some really stupid. Okay, maybe it does dip if I think about it. It does.
Psycho films. Wow. Psycho films.
Come on, Sarah. Come on. She is laughing her ass off. She knows. Death Wish. No, come on.
Death Wish.
Yeah, see, she's laughing. I can hear her laughing upstairs now. Harry Potter movies are all good. Honestly, I read the first 2 Harry Potter books. I started reading the third. And I'm like, I'm kind of done with the series. I don't think I've seen any of the movies.
Yeah, they're not. I haven't seen all of them, but they're not bad. It's just if you're into it or not.
Yeah. Grease 1 and 2. Yeah, and the Creed movies are good as well, but there's only 2.
I've never seen Wayne's World 2. Is that bad or just not so good?
Wayne's World 2, it's been a long time since I've seen it. It's kind of like just like the same jokes, you know. The Austin Power movies, I like all 3 of those. Even though the second one is a little weak, but I think I think they're all good.
Yeah, I could watch all of them.
Here's Steven with his weird Conjuring movies again.
Oh, good job, Steven. Child's Play. All those Chucky movies, except for the reboot. Every one that I've seen, I've enjoyed. All right. I can't say for sure because I haven't seen 3.
Yeah, it's too bad. Like if they would have stopped at Predator 2, we would have had that would have been okay. Just 1 and 2.
Was it Kyle put in there? I'm trying hard not to say Tremors, but no, they stink.
No. For some reason, Letterboxd here only counts Aliens, Alien 3, and Alien Resurrection as a series. It doesn't count all the other.
I mean, the one does say Alien Covenant, and you got to count the Predator versus Alien.
Yeah.
Friday the 13th. Some stinkers.
No, she's being cheeky. Nice try, Sarah. But then you can go with actors too, like like Humphrey Bogart. Generally, you got a pretty good movie with that guy.
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Yep. Well, yeah, there's all sorts of different tangents, but I found, it's kind of surprising how hard it is, because they tend to just always make movies until they fail, and then that's it.
What about the vacation movies?
I haven't seen Vegas, and I did see that remake, part of it at least.
I thought that one was okay.
I couldn't get through it.
I thought it was okay.
Oh, good job, Ryan. All the Ash movies.
Yeah.
Evil Dead is not. The first one is not great, but it is not bad. 2 and 3 are great. I don't know. I'm sure there's much. Under Siege 1 and 2. What a combo.
Was Steven Seagal in Under Siege 2, or did they find some other guy?
No, that was him.
Wow. Yeah.
Under Siege is Die Hard on a boat. Under Siege 2 is Under Siege on a train.
I honestly don't see how Under Siege is Die Hard on a boat. That does not.
It's just the formula of the one guy who is suddenly trapped in the situation where he can help out, and people don't know he's there.
No, Under Siege is not Die Hard on a boat. That's just what they said.
It's how it's commonly referred to.
Hey, The Goonies. That's a great series. There's only one. One and done.
We can do that.
Jeez. They haven't found a way to ruin that yet. Okay. Hey, Melissa's here now. Well, Melissa, you came just in time just to watch us wrap up the show. Oh, both Ace Ventura movies. It depends. Depends on your sense of humor.
I have been curious to try Dumb and Dumber again.
The original?
Yeah.
The original's fine. That's good.
I didn't connect with it when I watched it, because I didn't see it when I was a kid or, in a younger age. So I might try it again to see if it sits better this time.
No, I think the original's fine. The original's good times.
Oh, you know what got me thinking about Jim Carrey is when I was watching that Suicide movie, the Joker, it just seems like he's doing a Jim Carrey impression. It's like that's all I see.
That was the Jared Leto one, right?
Jared Leto guy just doing Jim Carrey.
Yeah, I don't even remember the Joker in that movie.
I'm not gonna waste my time trying to finish it off.
Yeah, it's not worth it. Okay, make sure to follow us on Twitter at @retro_Fandango. Get a boner with Retro Fandango. Check out our Discord channel. There was some Discord comments over there. Oh, and Deej13 did find me some places to rent tools, but the one place isn't rent.
Tools?
Yeah, to rent. So like you can buy stuff to fix your car, and like if you buy brakes or whatever, they'll give you the tools to help you out. The one place isn't doing it with COVID-19. They're like, we're not giving out tools for free with the COVID-19. And the other place doesn't. It's the Canadian Tire in my town is completely useless. So they don't have anything like that, anything fancy like that.
Well, maybe you should give cousin Guido a call.
He would definitely find me a way. He would find me a way. But I'm good. I can use my average everyday tools to get the job that I need to get done. I'm going to be fixing my rear brakes on my Honda Fit, and they are disc drum brakes. So if you know anything about those brakes, it is a little complicated. You got to take the drum off, and there's a whole bunch of springs and everything in there that you have to replace, and then you replace the shoes and all that stuff. But I watched the YouTube video and spent $300 on a bunch of replacement stuff, so we'll see how that goes. I got Sarah goes back to work on September 7th, so I got until then to get my car in tip-top shape. So, and
to actually check the brakes before you head out.
Yes, for sure, absolutely. Well, anytime I do any work on any of the cars, I tell Sarah to stay home and stay by the phone while I take the car out and drive it around, because you never know, I might have screwed something up and the thing blows up and I need somebody to come save me. might happen. So, you know, yeah, that's it. So maybe we'll be talking about that. I thought about like doing something for YouTube. All I do, like, just put up a camera and so you can watch me fix it and that. But I got to concentrate on what I'm doing. I can't be dicking around with camera and all that stuff. I got to focus on the task. I've never done this before, so I need to get to it. YouTube showed Eric how to fix our AC. Cost only $30. Oh, in the car? Was the AC in the car? Did you do the little can? Yeah, she fixed her. Yeah, that's right. She fixed her actual AC unit. I told you that, right? Sarah fixed her air conditioner.
Yeah, the condensation something hose.
Yeah, she cleaned it out.
Anything?
Cleaned it out. Yeah. Oh, you got to be careful with those cans of Freon you put in your car, because apparently there's like a delicate balance of the amount that you need to put on there. Oh, he fixed it in the house. Very good. Right on. Did he fix the P-trap? Was it the P-trap? It was too much condensation. Filled up the P-trap. That's what Sarah did. Okay. That's it. If you missed the beginning, just rewind. Watch the stellar opening to the show.
Yep.
Okay. Goodbye, everybody.
We're going to do stuff in the next 2 weeks.
Do stuff in the next 2 weeks.
Next episode.
Swear.
Promising.
You know what the problem is? Without STC Pod, we have no competition now. So we can just phone it in.
Bar is getting lower and lower.
Yeah.
We're still the top dog.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.